Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Oh yeah. I'm about to get me some 20% off. Good damn morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where if you take the right test on the internet and take the right course, you can get 20% off from the North Face. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to take the quiz today. That's going to be fun. But also, there is a lot of news. Obviously, the State of the Union tonight. There was a huge announcement on the internet about a new fight of the century, and I am going to laugh about it because it's funny to me. It's hilarious to me. This is some marketing freaking genius. We'll get to that and a whole lot more. But I just got to say good morning. I'm going to keep this part short and sweet. Let's say good morning to everybody. Welcome to the show. Mr. Avocados Diablo on Rumble gets the bell for being here first. If you're in first, you get the bell. He gets the bell. Good morning, AD. Also, good morning, Diesel Nick, Sully209, and anyone else who happens to be watching or having a window open on Rumble. Looks like there's a few of you, not too many, but hey, every single one helps. On YouTube, first in the chat, is also Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Congratulations, sir. You are awesome, of course. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier, who just missed it by that much. Good morning, Kara Soldier. Also, GDSOB's in the house. And also, he was the first like, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll give you a bell for that. Yes. Hit the like button if you're here. And if you like me, you don't have to. If you don't like me, you don't hit the like button. I just, I'm just here. Anyway, good morning. Zed the Snarky's in the house also. Let's see. Reaction. Puerto Rico, you lovely island is here. Good morning, sir. We got to talk immigration one of these days, too. Good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony who's here. Let's see. Lord Stanhope's in the house. Attack Alpaca's here. Good morning. I'm scrolling. That's why it takes me so long to say this. Nano's in the house. Nanu. You got to be like a 70s kid to know what that meant. Anyway, John Arnott, what's up? TC's in the house. Good morning. Anna Lynn, of course, is here. Welcome back again. And that's it. Is that really it? Do I need to stretch out this beginning part? Well, there's 20-some people, and it says YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, if it's choppy, it looks like it's still working. I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here, and we're going to take a quiz today. A course. We're going to take a course. Of course! We're going to take a course today that will validate my DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion skills so I can get 20% off at the North Face, someplace that I have never a place I've never shopped. Yeah, 20%, he says 20% off of stuff that was increased in price by 30% just the other day in preparation. Yes, I'm good. Well, I should just get 20% off for being a black man. I know sometimes it's hard to tell because I'm very light-skinned, but I am a black man. Maybe I should just why do I need to take a course? Can I just get 20% off? I should protest the fact that they're going to make me take a quiz to get 20% off. That's some racial profiling, isn't it? I'm just saying. Anyway, let's just remind you that the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please share this stream and also hit the like button. Those things help greatly. But if you really want to help, we're struggling a little bit this month. So throw a couple bucks in the tip jar and say what you want to say and let the words come out. I want to see you be brave. Say something significant or throw an article in the chat or the super chats or whatever. But best way is PDawgKnight.live. The links will be in the let me drop here. There you go. I'll pin the link in YouTube, and we'll also drop one into Rumble because that's the best place. It's just the most convenient for me. And when you do it through that link, that most of more of the money goes to me and not to YouTube, because we don't need this. YouTube's getting weird again. I got a feeling they're going to be doing some election interference shit like pretty soon, and I may not be on YouTube much longer, because they just there's things I've said in the past that they just will decide that they don't like, and then they'll go back and go, hey, back 3 years ago you said this and that's against our rules, and we're going to kick you off of YouTube. They kind of do that stupid shit. Shazbot, hey, AD, I saw that. Shaz, you know what I was talking about. You knew what I was talking about. Yes. Okay, so real quick, let me say thank you to a couple people here, because I know some of you have already shared the stream. Let's see. Somnambule Nation, appreciate it. Thank you. Also, let's see. Nanu, Tyler. Tyler. Oh, this is a different Tyler. That's not Tyler. Is that Tyler F? Yeah, it is Tyler F. And Scribe Light and Somnambule Nation retweeted me. TC did his own version of the post himself, or with both YouTube and Rumble links. I appreciate that. Please share the stream. The more, the merrier. All right. Let's see here. A couple things trending on the internet. What the hell is this? Why is that in front? That's not supposed to be in front. That's supposed to be... It's supposed to be way over here. I'm going to move this over just so I don't have it in the wrong order. Let's start with the big announcement that came out. I was stunned when I actually saw this announcement, and it's the reason that Jake Paul is trending. Jake Paul, the internet... I don't know what you're going to call him. I don't want to call him Dick. I mean, the internet sensation, Jake Paul, put this on the internet. He is, he's trending because he's scheduled to fight, because, he's become a boxer and shit. He's scheduled to fight Mike Tyson. Yes, that Mike Tyson. Yes, the former heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson, who's 58 years old. But I gotta tell you, there's footage of Mike Tyson training. And I remember when he had that, who was he did the fight with, the exhibition fight with somebody. But there it is, right here. Mike Tyson to fight Jake Paul on Netflix. Mike Tyson will be 58. Jake Paul will be 27 on July 20th for the fight. Isn't that elder abuse? No. Jake Paul's going to get knocked the fuck out. I guarantee. There is no way, unless they're doing this as an exhibition fight. If this is a real fight, I'm sorry. Jake Paul's been fighting guys who are not boxers, except for that exhibition. Now remember, the fight he had with Floyd Mayweather Jr., that was an exhibition fight. Okay? Floyd Mayweather Jr. pulled up on all his punches and obviously outboxed Jake Paul. And Jake Paul is, way bigger than Floyd Mayweather. But the other fights he's had some fights against some MMA guys, and he did pretty good. I mean, he did pretty good in some of these fights. But he's fought internet people who he's knocked out, like KSI. He's fought some MMA fighters who are not boxers, and actually Jake Paul's done a really good job of becoming a boxer, so to speak. But he hasn't fought any real fighters, like boxers, whose only craft is boxing. And the idea he's probably gonna lose an ear. That's wrong. That is wrong. Tyson fought him again recently. He fought not Lennox Lewis. The recent fight was an exhibition with what's the dude's name? He was a middleweight, or he was originally a middleweight, and then he moved up to the heavyweight ranks. Did pretty good. Roy Jones Jr. He had that exhibition fight with Roy Jones Jr., right? And as you're watching that exhibition fight, both of those two fighters, Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson, absolutely still had great skills. But there were a couple times, and that was just an exhibition fight, so they were supposed to not really hit hard. And there was a couple times where Mike Tyson hit Roy Jones Jr., and you could see the pain in Roy Jones Jr.'s face. And there's plenty of exhibition stuff of like there's this stuff on the internet, Mike Tyson training right now at 58 years old. Jake's in trouble. Jake is in trouble. Jake is in trouble. Now, as I scroll, I'm going to scroll down this. So here's the promotion of the fight, right? Here's the promotion. Let's put this up here because this is hilarious. Jake Paul is finally, I think, bitten off more than he can chew. I truly believe this. Remember, who was it? George Foreman. Remember George Foreman? Y'all know George Foreman, right? George Foreman was a heavyweight champion in his 50s. Now, granted, he wasn't nearly as good as he was when he was young, but he had that punching power, right? And Mike Tyson still has the punching power, and he's an actual boxer. He's not an MMA fighter who, decided to do this fight thing. He doesn't weigh, 30 pounds less than Jake Paul, because Jake Paul is an athlete. Jake Paul was a high school wrestler. He taught himself to box, blah, blah, blah. But this is not the same. By the way, good morning, Rod Line, who's in the house. My friend Woo, Don What Studios is in the house. Nice to see you guys here. Thank you for joining me. Here's the preview for the fight, though. Okay, there he is. Doofus Jake Paul. And Mike looking old. Mike looks old, but you got to see Mike. So this is going to happen in he looks old, but I'm telling you, I've been watching video of him training, and he is for real. His footwork is the same. He's still fast. He still hits hard. It's going to be Jake Paul. Ain't going to know what's going to happen to him. Anyway, they're going to do this at AT&T Stadium in Dallas this summer live on Netflix. Now, I can't imagine, for whatever reason, why you would buy this fight. But there's going to be a lot of people who do, because it's just almost silly that they're going to do this. Hello, C. Thomas is in the house. What's up, peasant? Oh, wait. Now the word of the day is penis, because C. Thomas likes to say the word penis. So anyway, this cracks me up. I'm sorry. I'm talking way too much about this. Tyson is slimmed down. Oh, no, he's in amazing shape right now. Okay, let's do this. Hang on a second. Let's see here. Let me find, here, let's just look up something real quick. We'll go, Mike Tyson training. Let's see if there's any videos of Mike Tyson training. Here it is. This is the first one. Okay. Now, I don't know why he's doing this in his skivvies, but here's some footage of Mike Tyson training. This is just from a couple weeks ago, okay? Mike Tyson training. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. And if you know anything about boxing, you'll know what you see. And here it is. Here's Mike Tyson training. He has a trainer here. Watch this. Okay. I want Jake Paul to get one of those across his jaw. And if it goes around, I'd be shocked. Jake Paul's going to be running from the whole time. That's all I can say. All right, enough about this spectacle that's going to happen in a few months, because I got to get through a lot of stuff today, because we're going to take this diversity quiz or this diversity course from the North Face, because I'm going to get 20% off. So I'm excited about that. Let's just get through the trending topics now. I've talked about it way too much. All right, also trending, the words "holy smokes" now. Which, I mean, for whatever reason. Now, the main reason that the words "holy smokes" is trending is basically the reaction of a certain photographer taking video, or they were excuse me, there's this woman on the red carpet named Tens. I guess she's some kind of an artist, a musical artist. And so here is, and the words "holy smokes" came out of one of the photographer's mouth. Let's see if we can figure out why the words "holy smokes" came out of the photographer's mouth. Here, let me play this real quick. And so this is someone named Thames. She's a music artist, some billboard event or something. Listen carefully.
And then one more time, looking right here.
Listen carefully when he says it.
Let's get over the shoulder. Yeah.
Oh! All right, have you figured out why the word "holy smokes" came out of the man's mouth. Apparently, okay, that's anyway. You get, apparently, Thames has quite a prominent feature in the photographer lost his mind for a second. So, but that's not the only holy smokes that was trending. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the hell happened there? This is not where I was. What happened to it? Oh, there we go. Oh no, I got it. Okay. So anyway, but that's not the only holy smokes that I caught. Oh, wait a minute, real quick. C. Thomas drops a deuce in the tip jar via YouTube Super Chat. Thank you, sir. And he says, dropping a deuce saying, "You asked for it, P. Ness." Okay? P. Ness. Okay. In a compound way, he put the word penis up there. So anyway, yes, apparently he was marveling at her buttocks. But there was oh wait, what the hell happened there? What is going on? That's not the only holy smokes. Oh, I see. I moved it too far over. Also, another holy smokes, because of something Steven Crowder did. And whoever wrote the holy smokes, I just went straight to Crowder's tweet. Apparently, breaking Tennessee Office of Homeland Security issues an officer safety bulletin to multiple state law enforcement agencies in response to a bomb threat targeting Trump supporters. Now, someone here says, "Have been thinking an awful lot about rigging my van and bombing real Donald Trump supporters." So this is now I'm pretty sure this won't make prominent national news, but it did make Crowder's feed here. Let me see if I can go wide here. Go wide on this one. Oh, that's not going to work. We'll have to go full screen. Here it is. Officer safety awareness, law enforcement safety concern related to a subject making concerning statements about constructing a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. This gentleman here, law enforcement personnel should exercise caution of contact made with Dayton and/or as his vehicle. No detention of the above subject or vehicle should be made solely based on this bulletin. The information is provided to increase situational awareness and advise law enforcement agencies of the potential officer safety concerns related to the subject of this bulletin. So on February 29th, 2024, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Memphis Field Office notified the Tennessee Office of Homeland Security of a Guardian incident report indicating that Dayton made certain concerning statements to his mother via text message. One of the messages stated, "Have been thinking an awful lot about rigging my van and bombing Trump supporters." An initial investigation revealed that Dayton has experienced suicidal and homicidal ideations and has also mentioned trying to obtain a firearm. Initial investigation has also revealed that Dayton was an active order of protection, or has an active order of protection issued in Waukegan, Illinois. Dayton's criminal history indicated previous arrests for public drunkenness and domestic battery incidents. According to the subject's parents, he suffers from unspecified mental health diagnosis. Dayton has several addresses associated with him in the Memphis, Shelby County area. At this time, the subject is believed to be transient and has no known address. So now I'm sure that this made the Southern Poverty Law Center's list. I'm sure it did not. Anyway, and also, Biden's concerned about the right-wing extremists that are taking over the world and causing all the pain. Yes, the FBI is going to say that. Well, it is a white male. So
you're fucking a white male.
So at least it fits some of the profile that they like to talk about a lot. But anyway, that's interesting. And then the other holy smokes was Dr. Phil is getting a lot of flack lately because Dr. Phil has been saying things that well, let's just put him on the wrong side of history. If you ask certain people, hello, Patio Furniture, what's up? Nice to see you. That would put him on the wrong side of history according to certain factions of the world. But here's Dr. Phil on Bill Maher talking about, giving an answer that probably Bill Maher was not expecting.
Should Democrats be worried about the 100,000 uncommitted votes in the Michigan primary? Oh, yes, I read about this. Will protest votes over Biden's
hang on. This
policy
is not the
and
part.
the cost
Maybe
of the
this
election
isn't
in
it.
the fall. If people don't know what we're talking about, Michigan just had a primary. Michigan has a large Muslim.
Okay, I don't want to talk about Michigan yet. I want to see what Dr. Phil said. Is this it? Here it is.
Apparently seem to be saying we are threatening to support Trump, a known lover of Muslims.
Okay, maybe this is the wrong section. Did he put the right section up here? Wait, let's try the other one. We'll try the other one. Here it is. This is the one. Oh, the answer Bill Barr wasn't expecting. Let's see this one. Oh, what the hell? That's not what I want. Well, maybe it was part of that. I don't know. Let me see. Let's go back to the one he just... Did he put the wrong clip up here?
What are your thoughts?
1,000 linemen used to figure out don't want to the working class.
Okay, that's not the one. Okay, for whatever reason. Well, anyway,
Should Democrats be worried about...
Dr. Phil has been giving the wrong answers about trans surgeries. And well, let's see if it's in here. Let's see. We'll try it. We'll try it again. Let's see. Let's see if they got the clip this time. Here it is. Let's try this one. The answer, he was not expecting. Here we go.
Should Democrats be worried about the 100,000...
No, it's the same damn clip. That's not the one. Okay, never mind. We'll figure it out later. That is not the clip that I was talking about. Here, let's try something. Dr. Phil. Because he was trending late yesterday afternoon. Well, here's an answer he gave on he was talking about the border. That's not the one. Okay, here's one. Now this has nothing.
Living their lives and started watching people live their lives. And so we saw
This is
the
on The
biggest
View.
spike
They're
and the
pissed-
highest levels
The
of
View is pissed
depression,
off.
anxiety, loneliness, and suicidality since records have ever been kept. And it's just continued on and on and on. And then COVID hits 10 years later, and the same agencies that knew that are the agencies that shut down the schools for 2 years. Who does that? Who takes away the support system for these children? Who takes them away and shuts it down? And by the way, when they shut it down, they stopped the mandated reporters from being able to see children that were being abused and sexually molested, and in fact sent them home and abandoned them to their abusers with no way to watch, and referrals dropped 50 to 60%. So
there was also a pandemic going on, and they were trying to save
They were
children's
trying to
lives
save
as
kids'
well.
lives. Remember, we know a lot of folks who died during this. So it wasn't, people weren't laying
Not
around
school
eating
children.
bond, but, well, you know what? We're lucky.
Now, she's mad. She's mad he said that. We're lucky.
Maybe we're lucky they didn't, because we kept them out of the places that they could be sick, because no one wanted to believe we had an issue.
Are you saying no school children died of COVID?
I'm saying it was the safest group. They were the less vulnerable group, and they suffered and will suffer more from the mismanagement of COVID than they will from the exposure to COVID. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact.
Well, Phil?
Anyway, so that was one of the clips. Anyway, people are mad at Dr. Phil, and that holy smokes didn't even fit the situation I was trying to do. So let me move on. Also, Nikon is trending now. The camera company, whatever. And I don't know a whole lot about this story, but apparently, Nikon is about to buy a company called Red, like the entire company. Nikon to acquire U.S. cinema camera manufacturer Red.com LLC. Nikon Corporation hereby announces its entry into an agreement to acquire 100% of the outstanding membership interest of Red.com LLC, whereby Red will become a wholly owned subsidiary of Nikon. Now, why this is interesting is apparently Red, I think about a year ago, sued Nikon. And so now Nikon is buying Red. Red lawsuit against Nikon dismissed. Z9 gets to keep compressed RAW, whatever that means. So if you know anything about this story, you might get a good chuckle out of the fact that Nikon is now buying the company that once sued it and had its case dismissed. National Guard is trending, and it's not because it's Texas National Guard. This time, it's because of the New York National Guard. Apparently, Kathy Hochul. Now, this is what's funny about this story. I just read a tweet from New York Mayor Eric Adams recently, In fact, it was yesterday. And he was saying that crime is down in New York City. It's record low crime in New York City. There's the murders are down, and this is down, and that down, whatever down. And come on to New York City because we're the safest city in America. Okay? Wait a minute. Real Wade is in the house. Real Wade Nation Gaming is in the house. How you doing, Wade? What's up? And said crime is down in New York City. Well, the reason National Guard is trending is because New York Governor Kathy, here's the Daily Krassenstein. Should we do it in Krassenstein voice? New York Governor Kathy Hochul has decided that they're having the National Guard go into the subways and protect people because there's too much crime in the subways, the same day that Mayor Adams said that New York is the safest city in America. So here it is. This is funny, and Ed's kind of pissed off because Republicans are saying some shit about this. So here's the Daily Krassenstein. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she will deploy 1,000 members of the state police and National Guard to the New York City subway system to help control crime. And Republicans are calling it communism and martial law. Are we calling it communism? Who's calling it communism? Okay, stop. Here we go. No matter what Democrats do, Republicans will find a way to attack them. Why does it seem like they don't want to solve problems, but rather just blame Democrats for the problems while they sit back and watch it unfold? I also find it funny that these same people don't criticize their fellow Republicans when they want to use the National Guard. Remember when Trump called in the National Guard during the George Floyd protest? Remember when he called in the National Guard during the Washington, D.C. protest? Why is it always different when opposing party? Okay. Oh, God, Ed. Your whatabouts make my head hurt, Ed. The reason the National Guard was called in during the Black Lives Matter protest, or what did he say here? He said during the Trump called the National Guard during the George Floyd protest, because that was a single event that they needed that required some national guarding, I guess. When they were attacking a federal building in the state of Washington, yes, you called in federal people, and the riots got out of hand. Yeah, you called in. Look, the governor of Minnesota also called in the National Guard during the George Floyd protest. The governor of Minnesota is just as far as a lefty Democrat governor as you can get. No one criticized him for that. The difference here is, out of one side of a Democrat's mouth, you saying that there's the crime in New York is the safest city in America, and the crime in New York is down. And then out of the other side of another Democrat's mouth, you're putting the National Guard in the subways to protect people from the idiots in the subways. So which is it, Ed? That's why people are even talking about it. Thank you, C. Thomas, dropping another news in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. Who says, The View are cartoonishly out of touch. Yes, that is a very, very good sentiment there. Thank you, C. Thomas. For sponsoring the show, you are a great American. So anyway, the National Guard's trending because New York City, the recidivism rate is 50%. So what do? Let repeat offenders out with no cash bail, and then they bring in the National Guard to search white ladies' purses. Oh, I don't know why you had to say that. That's funny, though. This John Lefevre, he is generally very Democratic-y. Anyway, over 1,000 National Guard troops deployed to the New York City subway system due to potential terror threats by Hamas. Life in America under Biden regime continues to be a war zone. Only 320 days left until Trump and the American people retake the White House. So that's another take on it. Another take on it from the Babylon Bee, with Daniel Perry arrested, New York City are forced to deploy National Guard to protect the subways because they don't have any citizens doing it, because no one wants to take a chance. No one's going to take a chance. Okay, moving on. That's why National Guard's trending. Oh, here's the I had an article ready for this too. New York State sending National Guard to New York City so commuters can feel safe. Nothing calming and making you feel more safe like having a bunch of soldiers around with, what are the M3s now? Is that what they use? Whatever. Hello, Jimmy from Philly. Oh my goodness. Where have you been, brother? Nice to see you in the chat. Dude, nice to see you. Anyway, the state of New York is sending the National Guard, state police, and MTA cops into the New York City subways so commuters feel safe amid a leadership failure by the mayor that has devastated the city. Now, granted, this is Breitbart, so you know what the spin's going to be on Breitbart. I'm not pretending Breitbart is not biased, okay? But that's a funny line. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced Wednesday that she would deploy state law enforcement to the Big Apple subway network, as well as teams of mental health workers. Oh my gosh, thank God. When the guy with the knife, they'll have the mental health worker there, and then they can stab the mental health worker, and then the National Guard can shoot them. Okay, and to help commuters and visitors to the city feel safe. Well, oh God, now I'm getting concerned. Hello, Maddie, how you doing? I'm concerned because my wife is going to New York City in next weekend. She and our very dear friend who had her 21st birthday, because her birthday is February 29th, they're going to go to New York City to go see a show, and they got this package to go and whatever. I've got to talk to her about that. Just take Ubers and. I'm concerned now. I wish they had a Skyway system like they have here in Minneapolis. Now I'm nervous about them going to New York. I didn't even think about that. Anyway, the Times reports additional law enforcement officers would add to an already large presence in the subways, where Mayor Adams ordered an additional 1,000 officers in February following a 45% spike in major crimes in January. Now, he just tweeted out the crimes down, but there was a major 45% spike in major crimes in January compared to the same time last year. Grand larcenies, thefts without use of force were the main driver of the January spike in crime, according to police. The grand larcenies are defined by police as major crimes, along with homicides, assaults, and robberies. So they're gonna. Well, look, I'm torn. Part of the problem in New York City is they let criminals out for doing pseudo minor crimes or less minor crimes, but then like I said, the recidivism, was that the word? How do you say it? The rate is 50%. So these people go out and commit more crimes, and then they go back, and the judges and prosecutors don't prosecute them. And it's, rinse and repeat over and over. I mean, what do you expect? And now you're going to have the National Guard in there so they can shoot them. Okay, great. Good job. Well done. All right, also trending, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, is trending. And I think it's because they're having a little bit of a fight with Moms for Liberty. So John Stossel here has a little ditty about this. Well, that's from March 3rd. Here, Moms for Liberty. We have requested and now had to sue, thank you, Heritage, for all communication documents between the SPLC and the Biden administration, because the Biden administration apparently put Moms for Liberty on some kind of a watch list or whatever. And so watch for Washington Examiner piece coming out today on the latest release from the Department of Justice. They brought SPLC in to brief them on Moms for Liberty, and we've got the brief. Oh, wow. So here it is. Breaking. Former SPLC staffer and Secretary of State of Michigan, Jocelyn Benson, announces she is coordinating with 6 battleground. And this is another thing. Coordinating with 6 battleground secretaries of states, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Nevada, to fight a common adversary. Well, I wonder who that common adversary is. Who is the common adversary, Jocelyn Benson?
Michigan leading the way in a lot of these efforts to ensure that democracy continues to exist.
Oh, they're going to save democracy. The 6 battleground states are going to save democracy.
Vote is heard and counted at the ballot, but you're not just helping Michigan. You're part of a group of secretaries of state that are really working on this around the country. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, one of the things we saw in 2020 was that particularly in battleground states, we were all battling a common adversary, a really nationally coordinated effort to undermine the will of the people.
A common adversary. The Democrat secretaries of states are fighting a common adversary. Now, she used the word fight. Is that insurrectionist talk? Is that insurrectionist talk?
Both before, during, and after election day.
Really? Before, during, and after election day. What was that common adversary?
We learned to semi-coordinate with each other in 20.
They're going to coordinate.
You know, Katie Hobbs and I was Secretary of Arizona at the time. She and I are friends. We would talk regularly. But there was really no way for us to consistently as a team, the 6 of us in those 6 battleground states, which Wisconsin, Pennsylvania.
Now, isn't that interesting? The 6 battleground states were coordinating, and aren't those the same 6 battleground states that all stopped counting ballots around the same time? What a coinky-dink. I'm not saying anything nefarious happened, but that is quite the coincidence. Isn't that interesting?
Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia to constantly both compare notes and also say
compare notes. Yes, they compared notes, and wow, what an amazing coincidence that these are all the same states that stopped counting ballots all at the same time in 2020. Not say anything. Of course, you can say you can now talk about election denial on YouTube again, but I'm not even going to do that. That's fascinating.
Okay, how are we going to respond to this nationally coordinated effort?
With nationally coordinated effort.
Response. And so that's, now we have that. We actually spent 2022 working to build that team in these 6 states. You've got strong voices now in Arizona and Nevada and Georgia and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and in Michigan. And we're all talking, we're all working together, and we're all very clear about what we're up against.
What
because
are you
the
up
battle
against?
Over the future of our democracy isn't
the
going
battle of the future of our democracy. Oh my goodness!
To be in the post-election process only. It starts now, and it starts with how various court battles are playing out, and you'll see all of us getting hit with the same types of sham lawsuits that are lawsuits. You know, or PR campaigns masquerading as lawsuits. So if we work together as we talk to each other, we can develop common strategies and be much more powerful, united as a team, even across party lines, than we would be if we were just fighting these battles in our respective states by ourselves.
Amazing. Isn't it amazing? So anyway, but then probably Mom for Liberty did sue the Southern Poverty Law Center for some documents because apparently they've been coordinating with they're the go-to agency, you know, non-governmental agency that the Justice Department goes to see who they should target for some shit. And that's why Moms for Liberty has asked them for documents. So that's why they're trending. Also trending, Katie Porter. Katie Porter's pissed off. Congresswoman Katie Porter was running for the United States Senate in the state of California, and she's really mad that Adam Schiff spent a lot of money and has become the Democratic nominee. Well, one of the nominees for Senate, because remember, California has kind of this jungle system for when they elect people that they have a primary election it's everyone's in the same primary, and then the top 2 in the primary go on to run for the office that they're going to run for. And so that rather than having a Democrat and a Republican primary, sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time in California, the final race for Senate is going to be between 2 Democrats. Well, this time it's not. And Katie Porter is angry, baby. Angry. And James Woods probably puts this the best, where he said, Shifty Schiff raised, Adam Schiff, the pencil-necked one, raised $31 million. And Katie Porter raised $28 million for their Senate campaigns. Now, Steve Garvey, who's the only Republican who even had a shot, had only $2 million in the campaign, but Garvey beat Porter, knocking her out of the race, and he's going to, well, they don't know if he's going to beat Adam Schiff, but that's what James Woods is saying. Hi, Green Badger Outdoors, by the way. And she's mad as hell, and she's not going to take it anymore. Outraged Democratic Congresswoman Katie Porter explodes, says onslaught of billionaires rigged the California Senate primary election won by Democratic Adam Schiff and Republican Steve Garvey. Note, in California, regardless of political party, the two candidates with the highest votes compete in the general election, while others are automatically eliminated. She wrote, "Thank you to everyone who supported our campaign and voted to shake up the status quo in Washington. Because of you, we had the establishment running scared, except for Adam Schiff, withstanding 3-1 in TV spending." Wait a minute. If Adam Shifty, I said Schiff, didn't I? Spent $31 million and she spent $28 million. How could that be 3-1? Anyway, she says spending 3-1 in TV spending, and maybe you should have spent your spending more wisely. And an onslaught of billionaires spending millions to rig this election. Really? So you're saying they rigged the election? Is that now? There's a name for that, isn't there? Yes, Rodline, election denier. She would be an election denier. She said, "I want to thank every person who supported us over the past 6 years. It's clear Californians are hungry for leaders who break the mold, can't be bought, and push for accountability in government and across our economy. And that's exactly what we as Americans deserve. Special interests like politics as it is today because they control the politicians. As we've seen in this campaign, they spend millions to defeat someone who will dilute their influence and disrupt the status quo. But take my word for it, I'll never stop fighting for you." Well, thank you, Katie Porter, for never stop fighting for whatever the fuck it is you fight for. I don't care. I'm glad you're gone. Anyway, the Fox News article here, let's see. So she's blaming billionaires' campaign lies in her concession speech, and even though the big donors backed her, though. That's the funny thing about it too. They backed her, and Californians voted for Adam Schiff and Steve Garvey, the former Los Angeles Dodger. You just can't write this anymore. Thank you, C. Thomas. Another deuce in the tip jar. You are awesome. Says, totally not at all a plan to cheat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going back to the Arizona thing, the Michigan Secretary of State stuff. So anyway, Katie Porter's very mad. She's mad as hell, and she's not gonna take it anymore. Anyway, the article's there if you want to read it. Also, Joe Scarborough's trending, the man from MSNBC, the Morning Joe. He's a moron. But anyway, the one thing that is trending that he's been saying, and this is the greatest thing, where Joe Scarborough, because he's supporting Joe Biden, and here's this is this is just special. I want you to hear this. I want you to listen to this because Joe Scarborough has some opinions on Joe Biden. And so here is Joe. No, he didn't kill another intern, AD. I know. That could also be in the news, too. No, he didn't kill another intern. And those ain't real, dude. Good morning, by the way. And Frank Cap, what's up? No Cap is in the house. Here we go. Wait. Wait, did you see my question? Oh, here it is. Hey, P-Dog, why would New York waste the National Guard? I don't know. Was that the question you're asking me about? I don't know. All right, Joe Scarborough has some thoughts about Joe Biden, about Joe Biden's mental acuity.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now. He's cogent. Mm-hmm. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent.
Oh, you undersold him when you said he was cogent. Listen to this. Listen to Joe Scarborough talk about Joe Biden.
He's far beyond cogent.
Far beyond
In fact,
cogent.
I think he's better than he's ever been.
Oh.
Intellectually.
Wait.
Analytically.
What?
Because he's been around for 50 years.
Wait. He's better than he's ever been. He's talking about Joe Biden.
And, I don't know if people knew this or not. Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning.
Oh,
sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say.
He says he used to say things he didn't want to say. That's interesting, because now he just says gibberish.
and I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Oh, please tell us the truth.
If you can't handle the truth.
Tell us the truth, Joe.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you
all I can say about that, it's a pretty low bar. I'm just saying. Joe Biden has never, ever been thought of as an intellectual heavyweight. Ever! Ever! So anyway, there's an article about it in PJ Media where it starts out this way. You've seen the clip already, but it starts out this way. I know it's human nature to think the best of the candidate you're supporting, but sometimes Joe Biden's boosters take it to an extreme when they are incapable of acknowledging Biden is old and senile. Earlier this week, Mark Cuban basically admitted he didn't care about Biden's physical or mental health. He hates Trump enough that he'd vote for Biden on his deathbed. If they were having his last wake, and it was him versus Trump, and he was going to be given his last rites, I would still vote for Joe Biden, he admitted. That stands in sharp contrast to MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, who tried to sell the idea that Joe Biden is not only cogent, but at the very top of his game. Oh my gosh. This is what it's going to be like from now until Election Day. And beyond, just beyond. And I got a feeling that if Joe Biden does lose, hello, Chicago. Mike, nice to see you, my friend. If Joe Biden does make it through Election Day and finishes out his term, you know they're going to pull some shit if he loses. They are going to pull some shit. Anyway, tonight you get to see Joe Biden in action. State of the Union is trending. I'm not going to talk much about it today because we will be talking about it tomorrow. The State of the Union, lots of people talking about this or anticipating this. And I got to tell you, I imagine Joe Biden's going to say some shit tonight that's going to make you go. It's because this is going to be as political as the State of the Union gets, because during election year, it always is. It's always super political. He's got to try to look his best. They're going to have the Adderall pumping through his veins, and he's going to be really sharp for about 7 minutes, and then he'll start blubbering and saying some stupid shit. And predictions. Okay, in the chat, by the way, predictions on how long the State of the Union speech will be. I'm going to guess 47 minutes. That's my guess. We'll have a pool. I've taken 47 minutes. You can all put $1 in the pool or whatever you want to do. I'm saying it's going to last 47 minutes. Some people say it'll be longer than that, but I don't know. Some preview. I'll give you one preview. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre, though, on her preview of the State of the Union. Let's see what Latrine says here. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what she says.
It's going to be important for the American people as he knows it and understands it. And as you all have been talking about it this morning, to hear directly from him on his vision, what he has done in the last 3 years. He's done more in the last 3 years, Willie, than most presidents have been able to do in their two terms. Okay, this is the talking point that she's been pushing lately. He's done more in the first 3 years of his presidency than any other president's done, even in 2 terms. And they're going to, I swear to God, if he talks about 14 million jobs, that's going to be the first lie he tells. He's going to talk about how they created 14 million jobs. No, they didn't. They didn't create 14 million jobs. Anyway. And so that is going to be important for the president tonight. It's going to be. Okay, so she's excited. He's going to have his vision and whatnot. So anyway, that's what I got the 2 tabs, State of the Union and SOTU, in the links. We're not going to talk a lot about them. Let's move on real quick. Of course, Miranda Devine, who is decidedly anti-Biden over at the New York Post, wrote an article called "Joe Biden Looks Like a Loser" on the eve of his State of the Union. What is that? Oh, that's just his hair. That's a really weird video of him. Anyway, there's a creepy video of Joe Biden this week in which he gets right in the face of a reporter who dares to ask about his catastrophic poll numbers and then flat out lies as if presidential vehemence can't overwhelm the truth. In fact, here, listen, look at this. This is the video she's talking about right here. Let's take a look at this, because remember,
Joe Scarborough said that he doesn't really get angry anymore. He doesn't say stupid shit when he out of anger. All right, let's see here. Let's watch this clip that Miranda Vine's talking about, this creepy video. Oh, sound.
Mr. President, what's your message to Democrats who are concerned about your poll numbers?
My poll numbers, the last 5 polls you guys don't report, I'm winning 5 in a row.
5 in a row.
You guys only look at the New York Times. They're a great paper.
Mr. President, what's your message?
5 in a row. He's the aggregate of all the polls. He's down in all 6 swing states. 5 in a row. Anyway, the president is about to board Air Force One after another 4-day weekend at Camp David. What's your message, Gay? Blah, blah, blah. 5 in a row. What's he been smoking at Camp David? On the eve of his State of the Union address Thursday, Biden looks like a loser. His kingdom of lies is crumbling. Americans belatedly are waking up to the border disaster he's inflicted on the country, the rancor and division he stroked, the preposterous wokery he imposed on every corner of the government, the incompetence, the wars, the Bidenomics, which he will no longer say, that translated into empty wallets. Almost 2/3 of voters think the country is heading in the wrong direction, according to the latest New York Times Siena College poll, one of the 4 bad polls over the last weekend that show stubborn verdict the country has against Biden. He's too old, too divisive. The country's going in the wrong direction, and we're all worse off than we were under Trump. And the rest of the article basically gives you several other factors, but that's kind of the gist of it. Now, that's not a surprise hearing that from Miranda Devine. Miranda Devine is very critical of Joe Biden and has been his entire terms in office. But also the other part of the thing, State of the Union. Now, this is good. I'm tempted to do. This would be the only reason I would ever go on Truth Social is for shit like this. Although I've thought about doing my own live play-by-play of the State of the Union, or maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Who knows? Here we go. Trump announces he's going to do a live play-by-play of Biden's State of the Union. Now, this would be interesting. Former President Donald Trump announced Wednesday that he will offer live play-by-play commentary on President Joe Biden's State of the Union address. The presumptive Republican nominee said he will correct all inaccurate statements about him, the Department of Justice, the U.S.-Mexico border, and a range of other issues. He said, "I'm pleased to inform you that tomorrow night I will be doing a live play-by-play of crooked Joe Biden State of the Union address." Trump wrote on Truth Social, "I will correct in rapid response any and all inaccurate statements, especially pertaining to the border and his weaponization of the DOJ, FBI, AGs, and district attorneys to go after his political opponent, me, something never done before in this country." So that should be interesting. That might be worth doing the play-by-play just to watch, just for that. I mean, that'd be the only reason I would ever go on Truth Social, because that would be interesting. And then, okay, and so that's it. So that's all the trending topics that we got through today. Real quick, thank you, Chicago Mike, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar. Thank you, Mike, and you are the new Streamland Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Chicago Mike, who says, "Hi, Marty. I say he'll make it an hour, and the here's the deal, and not a joke count is at 15. Oh, we should keep track of that. That's a good one. Who said Wu said something about the Biden drinking game, right? Let's see. Let me just scroll back here. I saw that a while back. Where is Now What Studios? It's the purple one. Wait, what happened? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Is there a drinking game for the State of the Union? Rules, please. Okay, I think Chicago Mike just gave us one. Here's the deal, and not a joke. Okay, here's the deal, not a joke. Oh, we'll go for 3 things. Okay, shot if he says here's the deal. Shot if he says not a joke. And shot if he says something that's unintelligible. Like he starts to talk and it's blah, 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 blah. One of those words. You know what I mean? Do you think that'd be too much? Would that be, or not a shot, because he might die if you do shots for that. But what about if it was just for What did you say? You just take a sip. You take a drink. You take a drink for that. Not a shot, because a shot you'd be dead. Anyway, thank you, Chicago Mike. And you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. That's because he did it at pdognight.live, or the link in the top of the chat there. All right, let's take a diversity quiz. So yesterday I told you about the North Face. I'm probably not going to get to the other articles I have here. I have several. You might want to check it out at the end of the show, what else I have. But yesterday we talked about how the North Face, the company that makes outdoor gear, is telling its customers that if they pass a diversity, equity, and inclusion course to get a discount. Now, it's not just like $2 off a $50 purchase. This is a 20% discount if they complete and pass a diversity, equity, and inclusion course. The company launched the course titled Allyship in the Outdoors to teach customers about racial disparities in outdoor activities, because black people never go outside, so the outdoor activities, they be like, I've never seen anyone at the basketball court. I've never seen anyone throwing a football around or having a cookout. They don't do things outdoors, so we need some allyship for black people to go outdoors. Anyway, it is roughly an hour long. Oh, no, it's an hour long. Oh, shoot. I thought it was going to be some little quiz you could take. And it's intended for people who work in the outdoor industry. Those who take the course from North America are ineligible for the discount. Oh, you can't get the discount in North America? What the F? What? Okay, this ruins my whole show. I'm just pissed now. Hello, Jethro Hetero. I am pissed. Those who take the course from North America are ineligible. I need a VPN. I need a VPN. Wouldn't that be funny? I could take the course, the DEI course, from Russia if I had a VPN. Oh my God, this pisses me off. Okay. Anyway, let's finish the article. At the North Face, we believe in the power of exploration as individuals, professionals, and companies who share a love for the outdoors and exploration. We also have a responsibility to support spaces where everybody feels like they belong. Because I only feel comfortable indoors. See, I should never go outdoors because I could get mugged by some white supremacists out in the rural counties. Because you remember, rural people are really dangerous, I guess, according to some dude. Anyway, this 1-hour digital course is designed to foster a deeper understanding of the unique challenges that people of color face when accessing the outdoors. Yes, doorknobs that are sticky, that makes it really a challenge to get outdoors. The course focuses on perspective of race and racism in Europe. Oh! And they said Europe is so much more inclusive and better and socialist and shit. And they're saying about racism in Europe. Oh my goodness. Now it's funny because when Lady Boomer and I were in Europe, we went on that cruise on the Danube River. I was outdoors a lot and I really didn't feel really uncomfortable outdoors. It was kind of, they had air and they had sky and clouds and lots of castles and weird old shit to see that I don't see here in cobblestone roads. I didn't have any problem outdoors. In fact, we even went in the country one day and drank beer at a local brewery, and we were outdoors, and it wasn't that bad. But apparently, the race and racism in Europe is not good. And so let's see. So I'm going to get back to this. The course focuses on perspective of race and racism in Europe, and we acknowledge that the experiences of people of color around the globe differ. Oh, see, I'm different. That's what it is. It will also provide training and resources through 4 interactive modules to help you be a better ally and to make the outdoors safer and more welcoming place for everyone. Well, wait a minute. Now, I'm pretty sure the people in Africa go outdoors. In fact, there are outdoors in places where there's lions and giraffes and hippos and giant crocodiles and shit. I'm not sure what they're talking about here. Or is it only the places where white people live? Maybe that's what they mean. Because they did say Europe. Okay, the course walks through. Okay, I said that. The module's going to... Oh, wait a minute. So they're talking about race and racism in Europe. Now listen to this line. This is great. The course walks through 4 modules on various aspects of racial diversity and outdoor activities, including lessons on privilege and how to handle customers accusations of being woke. The modules also include portions on what events, such as the death of George Floyd, can mean. See, that's very important because the death of George Floyd was very impactful in Europe and anyone who goes outdoors. So, because if you go outdoors, you might end up like George Floyd. That's what they're saying. Privilege can act. Oh, here's a quote. Privilege can give us access to the outdoors. That means some people can enjoy the advantages that they inherit from birth and or accumulate, like feet and legs that move, and accumulate over time, the course says. In this particular context, we refer to white privilege, meaning that your race and skin color can give you access to the outdoors when others can be excluded because of historic, enduring racism and biases. See, again, they don't allow black people outside. If you go outside, you're going to get arrested. I'm just saying, the course says that inequality in the racial makeup of those who participate in outdoor activities proves that barriers exist for minorities. No, maybe, just maybe. Most minorities live in cities and like being in the city and maybe just like hanging out with the dudes in the corner and shit or something. This is so stupid. Those who want to get the 20% off voucher must answer a series of multiple choice questions on allyship, privilege, and other DEI topics. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Let's get into it because here's the course. I want to see if I can just go take the quiz. I want to take the quiz. Oh my gosh! Enter your email address to receive an login email. I should have done this way beforehand. Let's go pdognight.gmail.com. Get started. Okay, now let's go into my email here. Let's see if I got the. Whoa! Wait a minute. Error. There was an error attempting to log you in. Unable to send a login email. Oh, I can't even take the course if I'm in North America. You know what?
That's racist!
Motherfuckers. I'm going to have to figure this out. Okay, we won't be able to do this today. Let's move on. I'll just go through the rest of the headlines for the day. Yesterday, a defense attorney describes the efforts to intimidate key witnesses after she filed a motion to disqualify Fani Willis. Yes, Ashley Merchant testified before the Georgia Senate yesterday, and it was quite enlightening. She described intimidation of key witnesses that occurred after she filed a motion to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. I can't call her Fanny. Well, anyway, during a Georgia Senate hearing Wednesday, Georgia State's Senate Special Committee on Investigations subpoenaed Merchant, whose January 8th motion contained bombshell allegations that Willis financially benefited from appointing her lover, Nathan Wade, to testify Wednesday during a second hearing on corruption allegations against Ms. Willis. Merchant revealed during the hearing that a key witness, Wade's former law partner, Terrence Bradley, received multiple calls from individuals close to Willis after she filed her motion to disqualify. Few people knew about his relationship, Merchant said, describing the time after she filed the motion, and so they very much wanted to know who knew about it. Gabe Banks, an Atlanta-based attorney whose wife works in the district attorney's office, called Bradley out of the blue the weekend after the motion was filed to ask if he was the leak. Merchant said Banks also represented Chris Campbell after he was subpoenaed by Merchant to testify. The day after Banks called, Wade called Bradley's friend to remind him of the attorney-client. So anyway, they started harassing the dude as soon as she filed this motion. Hello, Renee Mayette. How you doing? Nice to see you. You've been here a while and I didn't say hi. So there you go. And Blue Eyed Screams in the house. Nice to see you. All right, cool. Let me move on. So that was, a lot of people were watching that yesterday on YouTube and Rumble. I did not. Anyway, now here's another. Now Arizona's getting into the act now, though. So, and I'm pretty sure this is somehow coordinated with the White House. That's my speculation. I don't know for a fact, but here's something. So the Arizona Democrats are accelerating a case against Donald Trump as the Fani Willis episode is imploding. With the bogus case against former President Donald Trump imploding in Georgia, fascist Democrats at Arizona. Okay, must be an opinion piece. Yeah. Oh, it's Nick Nolte. Not Nick Nolte, John Nolte. Nick Nolte's that disheveled-looking, homeless-looking actor dude. Anyway, fascist Democrats in Arizona are spending up speeding up their own bogus case in the hopes of falsely imprisoning the leader of the opposition party. Arizona prosecutors in recent weeks issued grand jury subpoenas to multiple people linked to Donald Trump's 2020 campaign, reports Politico. I'll put the Politico article out there too. They described this as a sharp acceleration of their criminal investigation into efforts to overturn Joe Biden's alleged victory in the state. He put alleged. That's funny. The state's Democrat Attorney General, Chris Mays, is nearing a decision on whether to charge Trump allies in the state. As Trump pointed out, all of this comes directly from the Biden White House, maybe not from Biden himself. His fraudulency had no idea what's going on, but especially with the distraction coming from the Murder, She Wrote marathon on TBS. But as Trump gains strength in the polls and Biden loses ground with his base of support among Jew-hating young people, oh my God, that's harsh, and Black and Hispanic voters, all the Biden team's got are these banana republic tactics. If you can't beat him, arrest him, is the new Democratic Party motto. One backed up 100% by the corporate media. Well, he's certainly got that right. Way to go, John Nolte. Moving on, and there's the Politico article about how they're accelerating their efforts because they got to get it in time before the election. In the Daily Wire, Matt Gaetz calls on the DOJ Inspector General to investigate none other than Jack Smith, who was improperly appointed. Republican Matt Gaetz of Florida asking the independent watchdog of the Department of Justice to investigate Special Counsel Jack Smith over whether the prosecutor is allowing the 2024 election to impact the timeline of his case against former President Donald Trump. In a Wednesday letter obtained exclusively by the Daily Wire, Gaetz raised concerns to DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz about Smith pressing the Supreme Court to fast-track considerations of Trump's presidential immunity claim to clear the way for a trial. The congressman draws attention to a section of the Justice Manual that says federal prosecutors may never select the timing of any action, including investigative steps, criminal charges, or statements for the purpose of affecting any election or for the purposes of giving an advantage or disadvantage to any candidate of a political party. So that's written into the Justice Department's rules or manual or guidance. And so he's saying, hey, we need to check this out. So anyway, he says the memo is quite clear and opined that Smith's filing to the Supreme Court in December tacitly concedes a violation of the DOJ rules as Trump is running for another campaign for the White House in this year's election. So, I mean, there's more blah, blah, blah about it. But yeah, good thing he did that because they're breaking the rules. Another article, Boeing, the airplane company, the airplane building company, I should say, they're refusing to hand over records on Alaska Airlines plane that lost a chunk of its wall midair. Boeing, the largest aircraft manufacturer in the U.S., is refusing to provide information on the Alaska Airlines plane that lost a large chunk of its wall in January while in flight. The chair of the National Transportation Safety Board told senators on Wednesday. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy testified before the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation that Boeing was refusing to tell investigators the names of people on a 25-member team that worked on a door plug that came off the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 minutes after it had taken off from Portland. Homendy also said that the company has not provided documentation about a repair job on the panel that blew off the plane, forcing the flight to make an emergency landing. So, for whatever reason, Boeing is they're stalling. Of course, let's see. Here's a quote. Boeing has not provided us with documents and information that we have requested numerous times over the past few months, specifically with respect to opening, closing, and removal of the door, the chair said. It's absurd that 2 months later we don't have it. Without that information, that raises concerns about quality assurance, quality management, and safety management systems. So that's not good. They should want to get down to the bottom of it. Maybe they just don't want to be sued. In PG Media, the House is, thank God, the House of Representatives passed a spending package on Wednesday that will keep the government open. Oh, yippee. Wow, that was a nail biter. Yeah. Aside from government employees and people at the Washington Post, CNN, MSNBC, and that guy in his mother's basement who spends all day trolling comment sections, America could not care less. Some might even feel a bit let down. A non-functioning American government is superior to a functioning American government only in that it costs less and its ability to inflict harm on taxpayers is somewhat curtailed. Hey, they stole my line. I'm much happier when they shut down. That means they're not passing any stupid legislation and spending extra tons of money. So anyway, but thank God they, at the nick of time, like it never has ever happened before, they found a way to fund the government for another short period of time until they can figure out that they're not going to be able to get another budget bill passed. So there we go. PJ Media, another PJ Media story. They're my favorite today. Korean Jean-Pierre loses her mind and goes full Karen when pressed on Biden's note card addiction. Oh yeah, this was the other one. Someone asked her about the note cards that he was using when he was where was it? Where was he? He was at at the border. Remember he made his visit to the border where he went to the part of the border that really wasn't having a lot of people come across the border illegally, but he needed a photo op to say that he's been to the border. Because the border czar has not been to the border. Anyway, or she kind of made it near the border once, but not really. Anyway, this is the section of the press conference that they're talking about here. Oh my God, that's 50 minutes long. No, we're not going to do that. I'll just read it. I had the clip too. Anyway, they asked. This is a question from one of the reporters, and this wasn't even one of the This was not Ducey or. Who's the other one? James, what's his name? What's the dude who used to be Rosen? No, it wasn't Rosen either who asked this. So here, question. Yeah. And one more, if I may. The president, I noticed, had note cards at the border when he was doing his briefing there. He also had note cards last Friday with the Italian prime minister. Why does the president rely so heavily on note cards? And she said, you're upset because the president had note cards? I'm not upset. I'm asking you why. You're asking me a question about the president having note cards? I'm asking why does he rely on them so heavily? The president, who has had probably one of the most successful first 3 years of an administration than any modern day president. He's done more in the first 3 years than the most presidents had 2 terms. And you're asking me about note cards? I don't think that... Can you answer? I don't think his question... That was James Rosen said that. Wait, I'm talking to him. I'm not speaking right now to you, James. I'm talking to your friend over here. Thank you so much. But thank you so much for interjecting. Go ahead, Ed. Well, I was just asking why you rely so heavily on note cards. I think what's important here and what's the American people care about is how this president is delivering for them. And that's what he's doing. And that's what's most important thing here. Oh my God. Shut the hell up, woman. Yeah, he's not delivering what? Ice cream cones? Whatever. All right. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish these. I'm going to get through these. You watch. I'm going to do it. There is an article on how Google is actually evil. Remember their slogan used to be "Don't do evil" or some shit like that. Well, Google is even. This is Stephen Green saying Google is even more evil than I thought. Now I don't know how that could be because we all know Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. What? Hey, you Jimmy. Now, this is Stephen Green's words, so I'm just going to read them. Let me start by telling you that I am perhaps unrivaled in my disgust for Google, parent company Alphabet, feckless CEO Sundar Pichai, and every single one of the company's products and services. I've gone so far as to switch to a paid search engine, Kagi, as part of my endless quest to remove myself forever from Google's revenue stream, yet remain an internet user. That aside for a moment, I owe you an apology that I'll get to after this quick refresher on Google's latest self-own. My grudge against Google is deeply personal. Google, along with Facebook, another service I boycott, is on an endless quest to put PJ Media out of business. That's the company he's writing for in this article, and rob me of my income and the job I've loved for almost 20 years. So when Google face-planted like no multi-billion-dollar corporation has ever face-planted before with last month's failed launch of its Gemini AI image generator, nobody pointed or laughed harder than I did. How bad was the launch? It made the Titanic look like the giant water slide in a Carnival cruise ship. It was Jimmy Carter cruising to re-election. It made people decide that New Coke was way better than the original. Now, if you remember the New Coke debacle, but I didn't know what happened in that thing. There was a whole reason why they had to go through that shit. But anyway, Google Gemini face-planted so hard that instead of pointing derisively and letting loose with his patented ha-ha, Nelson Muntz reached down to help Google off the pavement. And yet did I come partly to the company's defense, and not because my little dark heart grew 3 sizes that day, or my mawkish garbage, any mawkish garbage like that. Google CEO Sundar Pichai wasn't sitting at his computer in the day before the image function went live. I wrote 2 weeks ago, laughing, at last I have perfected the no white man algorithm. Google Gemini, I concluded, wasn't doing anything more sinister than reflecting the woke bias already garnishing every one of Google's crap sandwiches. Now, mea culpa, maximum mea culpa. As it turns out, Google's Gemini team went to extra special lengths to make the image generator as woke as humanly possible, doing everything within their digital powers to lecture users, scold users, to erase white people, particularly white men, from history. Mike Solana at Pirate Wires detailed exactly what happened earlier this week, taking readers inside the DEI hive mind that led to Gemini's disaster. Here is the convoluted process that went on inside Gemini's black box before Google pulled the plug. Bishop, good morning. Here, this is a quote. A user makes a request for an image in the chat interface, which Gemini, once it realizes it's being asked for a picture, sends on to a smaller LLM that exists specifically for rewriting prompts in keeping with the company's thorough diversity mandates. This smaller LLM is trained with LORA on synthetic data generated by another third LLM that uses Google's full pages-long diversity preamble. The second LLM then rephrases the question, say, show me an auto mechanic, becomes show me an Asian auto mechanic in overalls laughing, an African-American female auto mechanic holding a wrench, a Native American auto mechanic with a hard hat, etc., and sends it to the diffusion model. So basically, Google's program was written to rewrite whatever you inputted to make it everything about it extra diverse. And it would add shit that you had no intention of when you asked for the image. So Gemini's backend went through the same process no matter what the prompt was, which is why none of the Vikings were white, the Nazis were black women, etc. Solana said a Google engineer that looked Solana said to a Google engineer that it looked to him that, in a way, diversity is the product. Yes, the engineer told him, we spent probably half of our engineering hours on this. Could I have been any more wrong about how and why Gemini failed? Now, if there's any solace to be found, it's that several people smarter and better informed on AI than I am agreed with my initial assessment. If there's any good news to be found, it's this. AI is posed to destroy and replace search as Google defined it more than 20 years ago. Google's AI is so thoroughly corrupt that the company looks increasingly like a dinosaur surrounded by nimble little mammals, while a giant asteroid named AI hurtles towards the Earth. So anyway, they did it on purpose, and it worked a little... what should I say? It worked a little better than they intended and really fucked some shit up. So anyway. All right, the other articles left here in... now, speaking of AI, Microsoft... Let's see if I can fit... Oh, I want this to fit. Here we go. It's right here. We go. An AI genius... excuse me. I'm going to try to say this the way it is. You can see the headline. I'm going to read the first line because they're always the same anyway. An artificial intelligence engineer at Microsoft says that the company's AI image generator, Copilot Designer, has been generating inappropriate images that violate the company's policy. What? Now, this is a whole different problem than Google's. According to Shane Jones, who has been testing Copilot designers for vulnerabilities since its March 2023 launch, the AI generator can be manipulated into creating images depicting violent sexual images of women, drug use, teenagers with weapons, images related to abortion, and graphic images depicting demons and monsters. The Microsoft engineer says these generated images violate Microsoft's responsible AI principles. Oh no. Oh no. They have principles at Microsoft? You know what? That's the biggest news in this article, that Microsoft has principles. Oh my, I need some coffee. Goodness gracious. Anyway, Jones' findings have prompted concerns over lack of regulation of generative AI technologies, especially given that the Copilot's designer Android app remains rated as E for everyone. Oh, you know, it's funny. I'm pretty sure that there are people out there, so there's a lot of sick people out there, who just have hacks on all these AI image generators that can pretty much make pictures of whatever they want. And Microsoft probably already knew that, but they're like, oh shit, someone's gonna call us on this shit, because we saw what happened to Google with all the black people, right? So anyway, that's news at Microsoft. Daily Wire: leaked files from transgender medical organizations show medical malpractice. Now, if you haven't been on X, Michael Schellenberger has done a whole new series called the WPATH files. The WPATH is the World Professional Association of Transgender Health. And hundreds of pages of internal posts and videos. A group analyzed these after they were obtained by its founder journalist, Michael Schellenberger. It concluded that the nominally scientific group was nothing more than an unethical activist group that existed to give cover to doctors who didn't want to be sued by allowing them to say they were following expert standards. Now, we've talked about the World Professional Association of Transgender Health many times on this show, and how it just looks like they're a bunch of activists, and they don't have really any science backing what they recommend, but because they are the go-to group on this, so many different American associations that have to do with medicine follow their guidelines. The American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association, all these three-letter medical agencies, like there's 27 of them, follow their guidelines. And as you look through this thread of what he found, none of their stuff is backed by science. And so this is a huge scandal. Maybe we'll talk about this one a lot more tomorrow, because this is really important. A lot of the stuff on transgender health is just bullshit. So anyways, standard of care is a legal term, not a medical term, and it represents the benchmark that determines whether professional obligations to the patients have been met. Failure to meet the standards of medical care is medical negligence, which can result in significant consequences for healthcare providers, it said. The low barrier gender transitioning of youth consists of medical malpractice that violates the Hippocratic Oath and causes harm without justification, and its victims are some of society's most vulnerable people, the report added. Though internal discussions show WPATH members essentially experimenting on young people, WPATH publicly says its procedures are not experimental, which allows them to be covered by insurance, which in practice enables the wide-scale deployment of them. And that's another thing. Because supposedly this organization is doing the standards of care, that's why insurance companies can pay for it. Well, now they're figuring out that all the shit they do is experimental. They don't have any research behind this shit. Now, Environmental Progress, which is, again, this organization that analyzed this data, called for reputable medical organizations like the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association to cut ties with the organization and to abandon its guidelines in favor of ethical, evidence-based medicine, which is what's happening in Europe all over. You know, all these European countries are dropping this bullshit because they're realizing that it does more harm than good. They have long-term studies on a lot of this and realize a lot of this stuff is just BS. In earlier decades, as men who tried to become women complained that they weren't persuasively passing, activist medical providers tried to address that by having them transition before undergoing puberty. But Diane Berg, a child psychologist and co-author of the child chapter of the group's so-called standards of care, acknowledged that youth often didn't actually understand what they were consenting to. Oh my gosh, shocker! Shocker! Who would have guessed that minor children really don't know what they're agreeing with? Oh my God. It's almost like nobody's ever said that before. They say they'll understand, but then they'll say something else that makes you think, oh, they didn't really understand that they are going to have facial hair or be sterile for the rest of their lives. The consequences include not being able to have children. Dr. Daniel Metzger, a Canadian endocrinologist, acknowledged that the people he was explaining the procedures to often haven't even had biology in high school yet. And that when he mentions kids to a 14-year-old, they say, ew. Years later, he said he sees patients, and I'm like, oh, the dog isn't doing it for you, is it? Nonetheless, WPATH has reduced the body of evidence from psychologists that is necessary before performing surgery, even as some practitioners seem to rubber stamp letters as a form of advocacy. So they used to have this, WPATH used to recommend that you go through 6 to 12 months of psychotherapy and all this other stuff, and they've been reducing it. But because there's such a heavy-duty advocacy for these procedures, most people can find a doctor who will just say, oh, you're trans? You say you're trans? Stamp, we're good. Let's go. Go get your hormones. Go get your puberty blockers. Oh, this child said that he's not sure if he's a boy or girl. Stamp. Oh, go get some puberty blockers. Here you go. Here's your prescription. Without any help. One day they'll go in and they leave with the prescription. So anyway, this article goes on about it. We'll go deeper into this tomorrow. Another article, the Daily Wire, talking about the secret history of the WPATH, the perverse cult that pushed gender madness into the mainstream. We'll go through this a little bit tomorrow. And then also a third article from the Federalist, Science keeps obliterating the less favorite transgender narrative. So we'll go through all three of these articles tomorrow. I'm out of time today to do it. The only other thing I had here, that's an empty box, and this is just, I can close that. All right. We've gone through another show, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the anticipation of the quiz I was going to do. I wish I could have done it, but it's, shit happens. I prescribe scopolamine, lots and lots of it. I don't even know what scopolamine, what? Scopolamine. What the fuck is that? Anyway, I gotta go. Hey, thanks for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I'll be back tomorrow because I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, roughly. Before you go, hit the like button if you haven't already. 38 people, 27 likes. We need more likes. Hit the like button right now before you do anything else. If you have not hit the like button, do it now. Do it now. And also, you can share the stream after the show. And if you want to sponsor, though, this PDogNight.live is open 24 hours a day. We got a goal of $5,000 by the end of the month. Okay, we're not going to make that, but whatever. Drop a deuce in the tip jar every once in a while. I will gladly clean it up. I got to go. I'll drop the links in the chat as we leave. The outro is about to play. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thanks for watching today on the Dawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.